The only clickbait of this video is that it wasn't actually me who analyzed these 1000 crypto ICOs. All credits for the actual research go to this guy who published this article on Medium. And this article impressed me for two reasons. First, the findings are absolutely crazy and they will blow your mind. And second, this type of number-based research is what we actually need in the crypto space. Because I think most investors don't really know their chances when they get into crypto ICOs, right? For example, when you gamble, when you go to the casino, you know that your chances are pretty low, but you still do it because, it's fun. And in the crypto space, I think most investors really think that they have really high chances of finding the right ICO to invest. And this analysis provides you with this data about your chances. So let's get into it. Alright, so he took the public available data and he analyzed 983 ICOs that took place between January 2019 and October 2022. So it's pretty fresh data. And as you can see from this graph, most ICOs happened actually at the end of 2021, because of the market conditions, I would assume. And then we can take a look at the price distribution of the ICO tokens. So the majority of projects, set the price pretty low, just a few cents. And there is actually a reason for that. So he writes that many projects choose such a low price mainly for psychological reasons. Because, investors associate a low ICO price with higher future growth potential. So it makes sense. And you can see that the majority of projects have their token price from 1 to 9 cents. Then he's talking about the funding goals. And by funding goals, we mean that the amount of money that the company wants to raise in this round, right? And the most projects aim to raise from 100K to 500K. The first interesting finding is that last year, the conditions for raising money were much easier, much better than this year. And now moving on to the main part of this analysis. So performance of ICOs on the first day after public listing. So on average, crypto projects saw a large price increase on the first day. On the very first day after the ICO. So, and you can see that there is price increase, right? Like from zero. Most projects, especially in 2021, they saw a large price increase, right? Like 1000%, 2000%. That's huge. That's huge. And you can see that in 2022. These numbers are much lower, so all the data points are in this range, right? Like there are some price increase like by 25, like 200, so it's definitely not as juicy as it was in 2021. And then what I found really interesting is the performance of projects after public listing in 1 year. And we can see that most coins and tokens have lost between 80 and 90% of their value compared to their ICO prices. So as a reference point, we're not taking a price when they listed the coin and the price of the token skyrocketed. No, we're taking here as a reference point just the ICO price. So the price of the public pre-sale, the price that you most probably are gonna buy this token if you're into crypto pre-sales. So in 1 year, most of the projects, they die. So the price of the token drops by 80 to 90%. So here is the graph and you can see the price increase from the reference point. And almost all data points are by zero, like nothing happens. Of course, there are outliers, right? If you were super lucky, you invested in these tokens and you observe price increase in 1 year by 3000%, it's huge. But most likely, if you haven't sold your token early, you're gonna end up in this range, close to zero. And yes, there is a difference in the performance of projects from different years, because for example, projects from 2020, they saw increase in the price because in 1 year, they happened to be in the middle of a bull market. So everything was going up. And then he also took effort to analyze the performance over time, right? And on this chart, you can see the performance of different projects on their first day after ICO, on their 10th day, 6th day, and in 1 year, right? And you can see that, if the price starts somewhere here, then, maybe it goes straight and then it falls down close to zero in most cases. Of course, you can see here there are a few outliers where they actually, probably the project had something behind just the nice website and they built a product, it happens, right? But in majority of cases, in 1 year, the price will be close to zero. And this finding is especially interesting. So for most new crypto projects, a large sales process by early investors begins within the first few days after their public listing. Almost all cases, prices have already fallen massively by the 6th day. So in 2 months, the prices are low after the ICO. So now let's talk about the main takeaways from this research. Number 1. Investments in ICOs in the financing phase are worthwhile in most cases with a big price jump for public listing. But it's only under condition that there is available liquidity on the exchanges that allow you to sell your holdings within the first few days. So if you buy the tokens in the presale, so before the public listing, and then you sell these tokens right after, there are chances you're gonna earn some money. There are chances. Finding number 2. In short, never buy coins right after their public listing. It doesn't make any sense, because you are basically exit liquidity for early investors, for investors who bought these tokens earlier. So they're just gonna sell these tokens and you provide them this liquidity. A third finding, most new crypto projects fail. Finding number 4, Bitcoin price matters. And obviously not the short-term price, but long-term cycle. We can clearly see from this analysis that projects that published in 2020, they greatly benefited from the 2021 bull market. And the opposite is also true. Projects from 2022, they really suffer from the current bear market. Finding number 5, and it's really interesting because, you know, when people talking about the pre-sale, they always mention the amount of money raised, like it's important indicator of their future success, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. So lots of money collected during the funding phase does not guarantee that the project will hold up to expectations. So don't pay attention to, you know, we raised this and this money. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't say anything. Sixth finding. ICO price doesn't matter either. Whether you buy a token for $1 or for 1 cent, it's actually not gonna affect the performance, long-term performance of the project. And the last finding is that projects that try to collect funds on multiple platforms saw some of the worst performances over the long term. So if projects are all over the place, you know, like everyone's talking about them, they collect money on different platforms, you know, it's not a guarantee that it's a successful project. And according to this data, it's quite the opposite. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, drop a comment, and invest wisely. See you in the next one. Peace.